All right, so we're now on to learning requirement 2, which is manage data, cells, and ranges. So first, pasting data using special paste options. So actually, I just did this. I'm going to delete this. Okay, so if I have this information for hour 1 and I want it in hour 2, when I paste it, by default, it stays the exact same formatting, everything, but I can come in here and I can tell it that I want it to only paste the values, which means like nothing fancy formatting wise. It'll only be exactly the information only. This one is like, should it apply the formatting as well? And number formatting, source formatting, like should it be pasted with the values from any formulas, as well as the same like colorings and font styles that it was, exactly the way that it came. Should it paste just the formulas but not the cells that it's referencing? Like there's lots of different options in here. I am just going to paste this plain, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Next, filling cells using autofill. Like you guys know how to do this. That's grabbing the little handle and extending it. So if I have this formula right here for averaging, I can just grab it, drag it across. Simple as that. These ones aren't needed. Very straightforward. I did not have to insert or delete columns or rows or insert or delete cells, but we can take a look at that. So I already deleted Connor, but we can delete Evan here, and Josh and Emma. You can select multiples, you can select multiples here, but if we go back to Evan, Josh, and Emma, and I delete, it brings everybody up and it adjusted my formulas down there. If I select 3 and I tell it to insert, it will insert 3. Same goes for columns. If you tell it to highlight 4 and tell it to insert, it'll insert 4. If I just delete this, it will ask, do I want everything else to shift up or shift to the left, or do I want to delete the entire row or column? If I tell it to shift up, my averages are now here, and that doesn't make sense. So you got to pay attention to what it's asking you to do, if you're doing the whole row or just specific information for those. Then we have merge and unmerging cells. You guys should be good on this one. If I have all of this and I want to merge it, you have to see what it wants you to do. Just regular merge, merging all the way across with everything, merging without centering them. So if I have A through M selected and I just, oh goodness, if I just tell it to merge, those are all merged together now, but it didn't automatically center. So I'm going to unmerge those. Actually, I'm going to merge and center for something a little later, which is the next one. Alignment, orientation, and indentation. So I did have to do this. On one of my projects, literally, it was something centered, and all I had to do was left align it. So these are your different alignments horizontally, and these are your vertical alignments. So if my cell is taller here, do I want it centered in the middle, centered at the top, centered at the bottom, or centered, or do I want it centered vertically and horizontally? So all different alignments there. You can do indentations, indentations as well. I use these if I have like subcategories, like move those over, and then I might have For this, it would be averages. Move that back over. So these like pop out a little bit. And you can see the headings a little better as well. Formatting cells using the Format Painter. So up here, I have these formatted with white text on a black background at a particular size, and I don't over here. So what I can do is come here. I had to do this on mine. I had to highlight 2 particular rows. I'd use the Format Painter, come over here to sheet 2 and select both of these and let go, and it updated that very easily for me without having to be like, oh, what size was that? Okay, what color? You can simply use that Format Painter, and that is available in PowerPoint, it's available in Word, it's available everywhere. I love it. All right, wrapping text, applying number formats. This text is obviously a lot longer than what can be seen, so I can use the text wrap to see it. And applying the number format. So right now, these all show up as percentages, and they have no decimal places. On my test, I had something that had a whole bunch of decimal places, and I had to bring it down to just 2. If this is supposed to be money, 100% equals 1, so we have $1. But those are also options that you can set up in here. The expert people do a lot with those. Cell format, cell styles, and clear the formatting. Okay, so in addition to just using these, you can also adjust our font here. We can adjust our formatting cells in here, telling it that we want currency, fractions. It's actually supposed to be formatted like a social security number, those things. We can come in here and adjust them. If we want to clear formatting for specific cells, here is the clear contents, but that's not what we want. Oh, you can also get to format cells through here as well. And adjust the fill, adjust the protection. Clear contents, or clear formatting. Where's the little eraser? Oh, right here. Okay. So I can clear the formats and it just goes back to regular text. If I want to use the built-in font styles, I can do that. Cell styles. This can be a title style, calculation total, like those things. There's lots of different options in here for those styles. Clearing in Word, it's over here. In Excel, I forgot it's over on this side. But to get to that eraser. Defining name range and naming a table. Okay, these are definitely things that we need to be prepared for. So I've already named all of this information in here as progress, all of these. You can name a range, like if I just select this, I can come in here and I can define a name. Let's see, student names. Okay, and I now have that, so no matter where I am, I can even be on sheet number 2, come here, go to student names, and it'll immediately do that. The other way you can get there is if you highlight a particular cell and just come up here and title those. Now to go right to Evan. If this is formatted as a table, like let's say this particular area is formatted as a table, Oh, select. Here we go. Insert table. Yes, this is a table. Very wide table. Oh, because these aren't. Just shrink those down a little bit. Okay, but anyway, so I have my table here. I can simply right click and I can, oh, sorry. Lots of right clicking. Right up here, table name. Okay, right now it's just called table 2. I can come up here and say whatever it actually is. And then we'll go right to my table, not just a particular range, but an actual, like the whole table. It'll automatically do that for it. So that is how you define a named range or name a table. And then we have these fun things called sparklines. Okay, the books that we used to use to learn these programs was excellent for this. And then we moved to Testo, and I don't think Testo covers them as nicely. So when we do this, we're inserting, and there's sparklines, or you can type in sparklines. On my test, it told me that it wanted a column sparkline here in all of these, but you can't highlight all of them. It won't work. You have to highlight the first one, tell it you want a column sparkline, and then what is it measuring? So we're gonna have her measure this. I had to do like 3 different months or something for mine that were right next to it, and then press OK. And because we have 100, 100, 100, all the bars are even. But as I drag this down, you can see like which ones were the successful ones and which ones weren't. Now an 80% is not a problem, but this isn't a graph. A sparkline is just a way of showing data very, very quickly. We can also see it in lines. We can see it as wins and losses. Since these are all positive numbers though, it's not going to show it accurately. But that is how you do the sparkline. So I did not have to go through and do any of this stuff. All I had to do was insert it once, drag it down. So that's the sparklines. Conditional formatting. So I had to put in traffic light conditional formatting. So let's take a look at how to do that. So these guys right here, if I wanted to real quick and see how we were doing, I could come into my conditional formatting and traffic lights are an icon, and it happens to be this first one. And mine specifically told me 3 traffic lights unrimmed. Green, green, green. This is showing up red because it's the lowest one. If I come into some of these other ones, like let's do this one because I see it has a 0 icon. The 0. The other ones are green. It's just splits it into 3 like subsets, like high, medium, and low, depending upon the range. Let's see if I can get it to show. There we go. So looking at 83 is like medium, 75 is low in this particular range. But all I had to do was highlight those, tell it I want the conditional formatting. Removing conditional formatting. You can clear the rules. You can clear it from the selected cells that you're on or from the entire sheet. So the one I had is I had to clear it from the entire sheet. And that's it for managing data cells and ranges. This stuff I found pretty straightforward. Like these ones I found to be some of the easier ones on the test, but that sparklines is just one that Testo doesn't cover as well. So it is not difficult. It's just not something that you're overly familiar with doing. So you may want to practice that one. Just puts in a little bit of data. Where do you want the sparkline to go? And insert that. All right, all set with number 2.